Ah, you found me. Thanks for clicking on whatever ridiculous thumbnail I posted for this particular video. But I wanted to show you my new project, and it's an old, clunky, junky Winchester 1906 pump slide action rifle that I'm going to hopefully get working. And I'm not too proud of it. It is junk, but I managed to find most of the pieces fairly quick. So I took advantage of that, and now I got some work to do. I went through it and looked at an initial evaluation of the different parts, the lower trigger housing assembly and the tube hangers for the magazine tube. But what I'm going to focus on first is the breech block assembly. Now, on this particular Winchester, it must be an earlier model because the breech block assembly has its tangs, if you want to call it that, or it locks into place where you don't see the clamps because they reside inside of the receiver, which is kind of cool because the last one I did was different than this. And this one is for 22 shorts, which is fine. But my problem child, or where I'm going to start with, is there's a screw that needs to be removed, and there's a block of metal that goes in there. They call that the firing pin stop, and it's held in place with 2 screws. So apparently this one was removed and the threads are still good, no issues, but somebody must have had problems removing this one and stripped the head and then tried to drill it out. In order for me to make some progress, I kind of had to take the stop that was in there and break it in half to remove it. So now I got to find a new one of those. And my first challenge is going to be to see if I can remove this screw using a left-handed drill bit set that I bought. So the idea is if you drill it in reverse, hopefully you're going to catch part of the head of the screw or a piece of the screw, and then it'll just unthread itself, if I'm lucky. The other thing I'd like to do is there's a extractor that lives right here, and there's a pin that holds the extractor in place, and it goes all the way through. So I bought this nice, what they call solid punch. It's a 1/16 diameter point, and I'm going to punch it from the bottom. So I'll punch it from the bottom. I'll knock the pin all the way through. I'll be able to remove the extractor, and then I'll be able to clean up the breech block, get all the rust out, examine the extractor to see if the profiling is still good. I think it is, but what do I know? Sounds like a piece of cake. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm going to stick this in a vise, grab a nice big hammer, knock the tar out of this. Should slide right out. I had that pin and this block soaking in a penetrating oil, so hopefully all the rust is dissolved, and it's just going to be a simple exercise of pulling the hammer out. Hell, I can probably just pull it out with my teeth, right? And then, of course, drilling that out with this reverse Chinese-made drill bit set should be a piece of cake. What could possibly go wrong? Let's hope. Alright, hopefully this is going to give us a good view of what I'm going to do to get this pin out. And I'm not even sure why I'm videoing this. Maybe something funny will happen. The vise is not screwed to the table. Just sitting here on my garage desk. We'll add some good luck oil to that. We're going to grab that punch that I bought and my precision hammer. That might have moved. We might have had some movement on that pin. try using this other pin, which is a little longer neck. Started to work, but then it bent, so this punch is definitely better. But the problem with this punch is I can only go so far with it. And I'm already at the limit of how far I can go. And I don't think I have another punch that'll fit in that hole. We might have a problem. That's a good punch, huh? I got some good stuff. So now I need a long needle punch that won't bend so easily. But the pin did start, so that was promising. All right, we'll call that a partial success. Because I got it started. You can see it's making its way out the top. So now I just got to find something a little stronger than that. But this one certainly did the good job of getting it moving for me. And I'll figure something out, but I think that's a good start, and I don't think I'll have too much of an issue getting that out the rest of the way. Plan B. I found a dowel pin that I think is going to work pretty good. So the dowel pin is a little smaller than the hole and the pin that I'm trying to extract. And it bent. Let's try a different dowel pin. Oh, look at that. Ha ha. Dowel pin number 2 did not bend. Got the dowel pin out. There we go. So I was able to remove the extractor. Beautiful. That's exactly what I was trying to do. Whether it's any good or not, I don't know. Hopefully. And here's the reason I wanted to remove the extractor. You can see the little groove that it sits in has a lot of rust and dirt and maybe some pitting that needs to be cleaned up. So it's best to get rid of all that. All right. So now it's on to the next part. Trying to drill that out so I can get that screw out. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit more difficult than that pin episode I just went through. So I think I already know this is a stupid idea, but I'm actually going to try and hand drill it when I probably should be doing it in a drill press. Some more of that lucky oil. And it is in reverse. I have no idea. Doesn't look like it's biting. think I broke the drill bit yet. That's a good sign. You know what? I'm going to go to the next larger. I'm going to try a 3/32 drill bit. That'll probably work, right? Just go with a bigger drill bit. They say oil's always good. I don't think I did anything. I don't know. I made a little progress, but I think that's all I'm going to do right now. I need to think about this. So I slept on it and rethunk my process so I wouldn't do anything that would cause irrevocable damage. And if I was just attacking this from a standpoint, that was fun. If that was just a blind hole with access only through the top, drilling and using some type of extractor would probably be maybe my only method or chance of getting that screw out. But since this has an open side to it and I have access to the neck of the screw right here, what I did is I've been soaking this thing in diesel fuel overnight. I guess I could have probably picked a better choice than that, but that's what I had available. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to just put my needle nose pliers on there and turn the screw. I don't have a locking needle nose, so I'm going to use my vise to create that. And we'll see what happens, but that gives me more opportunities so that I don't damage and make this any worse than what it is coming in through the top. I have access to the screw from the side, and hopefully I'm just going to be able to unthread it. And that's my plan of attack. Let's see how it goes. And hopefully I won't knock the vise over or break anything. All right. Well, it's hard to tell, but I think that might have actually turned a bit. So all I can do is look at it and keep trying, and hopefully I'll see some progress. Yep, and not drop it too many times. I would say that it is actually, I can't twist it by hand, but boy, I think this method is working. It appears to be turning the screw head. And it's getting easier. Maybe I could even start unthreading it. Well, probably hard to tell, but the head is actually starting to, as I turn it and unscrew it, the head is actually protruding through the top, so I am making progress. And the part I'm calling the head is really just a little piece that was left on after the drilling. So I'm just going to continue with this process until I get the screw completely out. One quarter turn at a time, so it's a good thing I'm not in a rush and I don't have anything better to do. Imagine if I actually had a life. So that worked pretty well. You can see the screw head is now sticking out the top. I can grab onto it with my pliers and out it comes. And the top actually didn't get messed up too bad. I'll take it. Obviously the screw's garbage, but I got some replacement parts. We're going to clean this up, rebuild it, and it's done, ready for installation.